We are the Haunted Three. We got Sith Lord Sky, Star White, and me, King Pumpkin. We're here and we're gonna creep you out tonight. Let's get it started.
Hello.
What'd it do?
So we, like I said before, I gotta call myself out. We are
Go ahead.
we are re-recording.
We're waiting.
We're re-recording our first episode because I fucked up and muted myself. So some of this is gonna be it's gonna sound sort of recited because I imagine we already remember most of what we all said at the last one, but I think it's a good starting point.
Or some of it. I don't know that I would say most.
So we're gonna be talking mostly about horror. I think for pretty much everything. We're going to start off with what got us into horror and paranormal things, and then just kind of branch out from that, talk about experiences, games, movies, and anything we can think of, and then maybe eventually do some like YouTube. I like Star White. You're always showing us videos of creepy paranormal things shown on camera.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a great thing to do
Yep.
as well.
Oh hell yeah! The three of us could react to some any number of channels. We got take your pick: Paranormal Nightmare,
Right.
Chills,
Yep.
Nuke's Top Five. Like, there's a whole shit ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nuke's Top 5 is one of my
Twins
favorites.
Paranormal. Oh, sorry, Pumpkin. Go ahead.
Mr. Ballin.
Oh, Mr. Ballin.
We can
Yes.
listen to a few of his stories.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I remember you guys showing me that guy. So we're gonna start off with the first paranormal experience that made you believe in the paranormal. Right?
hmm Yep.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Pumpkin, take us away.
Well, you see, guys, my first experience was many years ago, probably maybe before I moved out to Vegas, probably about 7 or 8. My great grandmother died, and for some reason, the lamp in the living room would constantly turn on and turn off all on its own. Now, at the time, my mother was, joking around that it was my great grandmother's ghost that was turning it on and off. And in a way, I kind of believed it because, I mean, literally, I would be looking at the lamp and nobody's hand or anything was doing anything to the plug or to the little thing that you have to turn on and off the light, which is like right next to the light bulb. There's
So
no hands.
it was one of those
I'm out.
old little knobs.
Yeah, it was one of those old little plastic knobs that you feel
Yep.
like you're gonna break off.
So
Yep.
we're not dealing with like a touch lamp or like a, turn on. We're dealing with straight up. You got to twist that fucker.
Yeah, this is old school, man.
And
No.
yeah, and those ones sometimes they weren't always easy to turn because you'd get them to that one point and it would start resisting and then
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
they weren't the
Okay.
easiest.
So it would randomly flicker on and off.
Yeah, well, not it wasn't even just it wasn't flickering. It would just turn completely off
Oh, okay.
and then turn on
Right.
at times.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
And then to continue it a little bit, it stopped when I moved out here. So try to explain that.
And did your great grandmother die in that area where you were?
She was in like a nursing home, so she wasn't anywhere near where we were living. But I mean, you hear things about people's spirits being attached to certain things, and there was
Oh
a
yeah.
few things that we had that were hers with us in that house.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would.
That's mm, that'll make a believer out of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Star, what was your first thing to happen that made you believe?
Um, well, like we had said before. Sorry, I couldn't resist. um,
Oh, I was
mine,
resisting.
mine. I mean, I can only remember part of it because it happened when I was so
Oh my
young.
god.
Um,
Cheeky
basically,
bastard.
basically, there was this house that we lived in where
Oh my
my
god.
what
I flip you off. Go
Fucking
on.
sneaky bastard.
yeah, I'm not looking at your camera right now, so take full advantage. Oh, okay. Um, basically, we lived in this house that was owned. It was a pretty big house too, by basically she was like an aunt to me. She was my mother's best friend, really.
Right.
And I was super young at the time. We're talking like 4, maybe 5, somewhere in there. And her name was Carol. I think it was her boyfriend or her. I don't think it was her husband. I don't think they ever got married, but they were seeing each other. And right in their garage, he killed himself.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, and there was a lot of crazy shit that happened in the house, but a couple of things that really kind of stuck out and things I actually remember. One, I would see shit in the basement. I would be just plagued with night terrors literally every single night. Doctors had no explanation for it either, because my parents did take me in. They're like, "Hey, he's having these fucking night terrors," and you know, they're like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Um, and then on top of that, like there'd be electronics. Um, those little things that'll warn you when their batteries are low. They'll be like,
Yeah.
"Turn me off,"
Yep.
and never have even touched it, like weeks at a time, and it'll just out of nowhere come up and say that. And it's been off, literally off. Not powered on and left on, but powered fucking off. And me saying that shit.
Yikes.
And then we had one of those little fucking, you know what I'm talking, the little teddy bears that you can clap and activate. Just, and then it starts singing and lighting up. Out of nowhere, those fuckers would just, we had one that would have this flashing heart. And it would start, I don't remember if it was singing or if it said
Yeah.
something, but it
Mm.
would start going off out of nowhere. And nobody was there to make a sound. Like we wouldn't even be in the room with it. And it would do that. So,
Yeah.
growing up around that, and I grew up we spent at least a couple, 2, 3 years there.
Right.
So, I mean, I grew up around that stuff. So that's really, I think, my first experiences that stood out to me.
Right.
It's hard to deny shit when it seems normal to you at the time,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mine was my father was in the army, so I moved around a lot when I was really little. Yeah.
Respect to your father.
So we when we finally got up to New York, we got this house, and shortly afterwards, because at one point my family kind of spread out a lot, and then all of a sudden everyone started coming back to New York and all to the same area to be around my grandparents. So my aunt had moved up, and she came and lived with us for like a summer or maybe a little longer. I don't quite remember. I was kind of young. Just to just to get on her feet and find her own place with her and her 2 kids. So what ended up happening was me and my cousin were going to bed and we were talking, staying up later than we're supposed to, of course. I mean, never. But, and all of a sudden, like, we heard footsteps, like someone was up in the attic, because I was on the second floor, and, like, who the hell's walking around in the attic at 11 o'clock at night? And all of a sudden it sounded like a few people. Like, it wasn't just one set of footsteps, it was a few sets of footsteps. So, we're like, okay, that's creepy. Everyone went to bed. So, he grabbed my baseball bat, and I grabbed my stick that I took from camp, as, you know, boys do. We take sticks.
I just want to point out something, all right? You said it was your cousin, right?
Yeah.
Your cousin goes for the baseball bat, and here you are with a fucking stick.
He was bigger than me. He was stronger than me. He gets the baseball bat.
He gets
Okay.
the baseball bat.
He gets the baseball bat. I'm the backup. I'll take the little stick. It was a sturdy fucking stick, all right? So
Yeah, he's gonna poke him with a stick.
That's what they all say.
it was a good piece of wood.
Oh god.
So, in our stairs, I've fallen down every flight of stairs that I have had to interact with more than 5 times. I'm a klutz. There were 16 steps up, and then there was a landing, and then there were 4 more steps up in the other direction. So, like, L'd up, right?
Mm.
And I knew this because of how many times I've fallen down them. Eventually, I counted. So, I went... once we got to the landing, all the footsteps stopped. And we looked up, and I don't know if it was a full moon or if there was a light left on. Like, we could see in there was no one there. So, naturally, we're freaked out. I think I was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, so I'm like 7 to 9, somewhere in that age range. We bolt downstairs, jump in the bed, and all of a sudden the footsteps start back up. So, in little kid fashion, that fucking blanket went right over my fucking head. Nope.
Of course.
Like a rabbit standing behind a fucking blade of grass.
Right.
You can't see me.
Out of sight, out of mind. I'm invisible now. Leave me alone. And so, like, it was creepy.
Just having a party.
Yeah. It really fucking sounded like it. And I'm sure, I hope that at this point, when our bedroom door opened and someone took a step in, that had to have been one of the parents checking in on us, right? Had to be. They just heard us run down the fucking stairs. Otherwise, I don't want to know. It was a parent. It was either my father, my mother, or my aunt. It was one of the fucking 3. I will not accept any other issue. Pumpkin?
Are you sure?
Shut the fuck up. But
There's no way you can be sure about that.
He wants to
What
believe.
about your cousin?
He wants
What
to
about
believe.
your cousin? Was he hiding under the covers too?
Or was he standing outside with a fucking baseball bat like, come on, bitch?
No, we both went. Nope. That was a fuck no moment. Star, why don't you set the scene for this one? What is your what is your most memorable paranormal experience? Like, what is the one that you'll tell till your dying day just because it's like that's the one?
The one that you will never forget.
The one that I'll never forget, I gotta say, is the one with the little ceramic unicorn that we mentioned. Like, is that like a little hit?
That was an accident. I was just. That's why, like, I went.
I know I'm fucking with you there, but I mean,
God.
as much as I would like to say some of the things that I kind of got into when I experimented with the more darker side of the occult, which we'll save for a later time, um,
Hmm.
that was kind of self-brought. You know what I mean?
Right.
I kind of brought that onto myself. So I want to use something that I had nothing to fucking do with. It just happened. And that would be that fucking unicorn. That ceramic motherfucking unicorn. So the aforementioned Carol, all right, she gave my mother this ceramic unicorn. And I forgot to mention this last time, but like the base of it was like like not a music box obviously, but it played music when you wound it up.
Okay.
The unicorn didn't move. It was just the
Hmm.
base of it. If you wound it up, it would play music.
Right.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, but we hadn't used this thing like it was fucking dusty as hell. My mother was literally using it as a knickknack because it looked pretty cool with all of her other ceramic stuff that she had, and she had
Right.
a fucking metric shit ton. But we were out there doing our spring cleaning, and we had not even touched that shelf yet, and we generally didn't, other than to do a very light feather dusting because we didn't want to break anything.
Fair enough.
But we hadn't gotten that far. We were vacuuming, and I remember this vividly. I was cleaning the door with some fucking bleach and Windex because holy crap, when you have three dogs, your doors get dirty.
Yeah.
Um, and all of a sudden, it's just me and her. My dad's at work. Dogs are laying down, sound asleep. We hear this cracking. It's like this loud, like, that's about what it sounded like. Like, if you ever watched a movie and you've seen like sheets of ice that start cracking, right?
Right.
It's about what it sounded like. And it was fucking loud too. Probably the loudest cracking sound I've ever heard. Um,
Hmm.
and then we're trying to figure it out. We spend like a good probably 2 minutes trying to figure out where the fuck this noise is coming from. And we think it's coming from that shelf, but we're not sure. So we're looking over at it, and like it could have done this at any time, but right when we're both dead ass staring at the shelf, that's when this fucking unicorn that we have, the ceramic unicorn that's perfectly fine, has had no issues before. It is sturdy. We've moved it before. We've done all kinds of shit. Just crumbles into tiny little pieces.
Yeah.
And only the ceramic part, the
That's
base
very
and the
weird.
stand, like that
Right.
it's attached to, just fine. Just the fucking unicorn piece literally crumbles. I don't want to say quite to dust because that would be a little bit of an exaggeration, but
Right.
a bunch of little pieces. And I will never forget that because it was so out of nowhere.
Right.
The sound was not right for what it should have been, even if it was somehow natural to do that, which
Right.
I don't fucking know how.
Yeah, I know, right?
It wouldn't echo throughout an entire fucking living room that loud. But
Not
yeah,
something
that's
that small.
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, it was maybe the size of my phone, and that's being generous. So yeah, that sticks out to my mind, and it's something I will never forget. There was no reason for this to happen.
Now, to piggyback on that, not that it's a big memorable moment for me, but just because I've had um not similar, but you said that you had the thing was like a music box.
Yeah, you wound up
So
the bass and it would play music.
right now, I had my my mother and my grandmother. Um, they always found music boxes, knickknacks, ceramic things that like, you turn the whole thing and it would just rotate and it would play
You had a rotating one. Okay.
the Sound of Music one, do 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 do, and
Yep.
so when when my mother moved, we ended up packing up all her shit and sent it over to her like, here,
Mhm.
take it. And I want to say probably 10, 15 years after she left, I found one at a garage sale for like fucking quarter, 50 cents, and it was a Harlequin clown. right?
Oh God.
Okay.
So now,
Fuck
for,
clowns, but okay.
most people hate the Harlequin clowns. I get it. I do. I've never had a. I've always liked them, and it played that tune. I was like, wow, I got what the hell? Nostalgia hit me. I'm like, I fucking love this thing. So I grabbed it, and it worked fine when I played it at the garage sale. Didn't work so fine when I brought it home.
Oh boy.
All of a sudden,
Oh,
like I wound it up, and it would go, and it would just kind of stop very shortly. And I'm like, all right. So I let it go, and after a while, it would eventually like dislodge itself and start do do do, and it would go a little few notes. And I had that thing on a shelf. I didn't hear it for probably a year and a half to 2 years, and all of a sudden, it played the entire fucking song.
Oh
wow.
shit.
The whole fucking
Oh.
thing. It had not made a sound in well over a year.
I was gonna ask you, what are the odds, like, if it only played a partial, like there was maybe still some wind in it and the spring finally came loose, but the whole fucking song?
The
No
whole
way.
song. Like, I mean, because, like, I would say probably like a month or 2 months, it would do what you said. Like, it would just kind of dislodge a little bit and play a note or three. You know, and then. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, fucking, again? Really? Alright, whatever. But literally, well over a fucking year. And all of a sudden, it just started going. And I wasn't even alone in the room.
Oh no.
My girlfriend was in the room with me because at the time we had like a double computer desk and both our computers were set up next to each other, and
Uh,
we're both we're both on there, and I feel like we were playing Call of Duty or something. We were doing something, or no, Minecraft. We were playing fucking Minecraft. That's what it was. And all of a sudden it just started going, and we're like, what the shit? And she turns around and she's like, that's not okay.
I like that reaction though. That's not.
oh my
she,
God.
she just, that's not okay. And I'm like, that's gone. And I threw it away the next day. I'm like, nope. Pumpkin, what's your big standout scary moment?
My big scary moment, you guys are going to remember this. It was when I was living in the first place that we rented when we got to Vegas.
Okay.
It was late at night, and literally every single night I would hear a bracelet
Oh
jingle
yeah.
jangling on the outside of my door. And it's like I didn't do anything about it at first, you know,
At first.
but
Probably
then
convince yourself it was nothing, right?
well, I convinced myself that it might have been my grandmother, because my
Okay.
grandmother's on the other side of the hall, and she would, you know, elderly people go to the bathroom all night long,
Yeah.
you know,
Fair.
and it was like right up against my door one night. I ran, opened up that door, there was nothing there. And as soon as I closed it and went back in my bed, it started it in again.
Yeah. No.
And then on top of that, I would also be getting those loud noises right above my room in the attic. That really small attic that I said was like a crawl space where it was really narrow, where you
Yeah.
really couldn't get up there.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Oh
like
yeah.
Yeah.
it was like something out of the Boogeyman movie where you had that hatch that went up to the attic in the closet.
Yeah.
And where was it? It was in my mother's room, in that walk-in
Mm.
closet, right up there.
Like Grudge style, where it's like you can like fill up the whole, just about the whole space with your head, basically, and look around.
Yeah, I mean there was a little bit more than that. I mean maybe you were able to like hunch over up there and walk around like a crab, but I mean it was very small. But besides that, it's like we only stored stuff right at that little entrance, and my room, from where my room is to where that hatch is a distance. So whatever it
Right.
was right above me, and everybody, my mother was constantly telling me it had to have been the air conditioning unit. I'm like, no. It's like, and it's like I know this because you see, years. I mean, here I am. I'm in high school and stuff, and I'm going to college. I mean, at the time, there was only like 4 programs, so I took air conditioning, so I can have half days at high school.
Well, gotcha.
So I know how a damn AC sounds, and now I am reassured that that is not what was doing that because it literally sounded like feet or something stomping right above my room. And then also, it wasn't all in the same night, but remember that one time that I told you that I went out of my room and was gonna head
Mm,
down the stairs?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
In the living room, we had these vaulted ceilings that were like 20 feet high, and there
Right.
was these big giant windows on the wall. And when you're going down the stairs, there's an opening over there, and you can see those damn windows. And they were so high up, there was no curtains on those windows. And let's just say this moment scarred me. I will always remember it. When I was about to go down the stairs and I looked to my left because even back then, I felt something. And what do you know? There was some kind of humanoid black figure crawling on that window. I immediately looked away. It was like I seen it for 1 second. I immediately looked away and ran back into my room.
Smart.
And it literally scarred me. It's like I never left that room at night, ever.
I don't fucking blame you
But
in the
why?
slightest. Hell no. I would be doing the same thing once it like dusk, like the slightest fucking change in from day to night. Nope, I'm staying in this room. Fuck y'all, I'm right here.
I will piss
Oh
out the
yeah.
window. Fuck that.
Exactly. I'm gonna piss out the
Uh-huh. It's
window before
like
I go to the bathroom.
yeah, it's like I ain't going to the damn bathroom. The hell with you?
I'll
But
hold it.
yeah,
I can sleep. I'm good.
but yeah, it was literally every night I was hearing those noises right above my
Mm,
bed and those that
mm-mm.
freaking bracelet or whatever it was jingle jangling on the outside of the door. Which, I mean, I know this is kind of a little bit off topic, but it's going to be something we're going to discuss later on. But it's the main reason why I love the sound design and the atmosphere of horror games. That's the stuff that scares me. It's not the
Hmm.
jump scares, it's not the monsters themselves, it's the subtle noises and the atmosphere around you that is what
Mhm.
scares me.
Because you notice that before really anything else in real life.
Yeah. If you don't have a
Oh, yeah.
hearing problem, you can hear shit like that.
It's like, yeah, that was memorable, but it's like there's only one other memorable moment, and that was in that same house. Remember I told you guys, it was during the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
I looked up the stairs, and there was a clear as day figure of what looked to be my great grandmother in a pink nightgown. She
Oh
had silver
yeah, that's
hair,
right.
no face. There was absolutely no face. So it might have been my great grandmother. It might not have been my great grandmother. But literally, the figure had no face. It was in a pink nightgown at the top of the stairs. And just as fast as I seen that thing on that window, as soon as you look away, it was gone.
Yep.
But literally, it's in my head. I still remember it, and I will never forget it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
full
mean,
on color
full on
apparition in the
opera.
day.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was just gonna
nope,
say.
nope,
Oh yeah, it was full
God,
on color during
gone.
the day. During the freaking day, and it would explain why I kept on hearing a bracelet that sounded like my grandmother's right by my
Yeah,
door, because my door is right at the top of the stairs, right at the right.
Man, wait till I can. I've got to do it. I can't afford it this paycheck because the battery for my laptop's like $100. But
oh yeah,
when I can, wait till I fucking. Oh man, well that'll be a whole nother video of itself. When I
But
can get
yeah,
access to some of that shit, you guys will fucking love it.
that would be
oh
awesome.
yeah, that would be awesome. But yeah, it's like all these posers that keep on getting these. I mean, I'm not saying that they're posers, they're shadow figures and shit,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, seeing a full on color whatever that was at the top of the stairs and literally with no face,
Mm-mm.
like
Oh yeah,
like I mean there wasn't even any indentations or anything leading to it having any kind of eyes or nose or mouth or anything.
yeah,
It was just blank slate, like Slender Man. Okay, it was nothing there. There was just like literally white skinned like the
Mm-mm.
three of us. I mean just right there.
yeah. No,
Man, I mean that. No, I wouldn't want to do that. But you know what? That does bring me to a point. All right, all three of us. It sounds like since we were very young kids,
mm-hmm.
okay, have had experiences.
Yeah,
It would be
Mhm.
cool. We all live in different parts of the U.S.
right.
Hence why we're on these three little fucking screens, right? But
Oh
if we
yeah.
ever got together, we would make a kick-ass paranormal investigation team,
Oh
man.
my
I would
god,
fucking love it.
that'd be fantastic.
It would, because we
Yeah.
we all have had experiences with the paranormal
Yep.
from a very young age, and I really do feel like that sort of thing, if you're sensitive to it, will manifest itself early.
Yes.
Man, that would be so cool for us to get together and explore some of the more questionable, haunted
Now,
areas and investigate.
just remember, I can't hear well, so I'm not going first.
Fine, you can film it then. You can be the cameraman. How's that?
Something starts coming for us, y'all are gonna hear it so much quicker than I am.
Hey, Pumpkin. Okay, we gotta lower our voice again, but we only gotta run faster than Sky. That ain't gonna take much. Oh god. We are giving Sky so much shit this episode. He can't move that fast. Oh my god. But
Y'all suck.
this I think is a good segue into like the type of or the horror movie or game or
Well,
whatever
hold
that
up.
stood
I
out to you
haven't
the
told you
most.
mine.
I thought you did.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you?
No.
no, he hasn't gotten there yet.
Oh, he
No, no,
told us
no.
his first one. You're okay. Well, what was your most memorable paranormal experience?
I think my most memorable one actually had to do at the same time frame that my cousins were staying. Actually, the year after. The
Okay.
year after my cousins moved out. So ever since that first night that we heard the footsteps, I would
Okay.
randomly hear my name being called in the middle of the night. So that was one of the adults coming into the room, right? Right? So I mean, it would just so obviously I don't know. Sky is short for Skyler, so I would hear Skylar. Every fucking
Could have
night.
been the same one.
Every
Mm.
fucking night. Now, you guys take that as I say it, because guess who can't hear whispers?
You.
Me. And every night I heard, Skylar.
Wait, hold up though. So even back then, you weren't able to like hear whispers or anything.
No, I was born with a hearing problem.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I thought that was like
Oh,
something you
alright.
developed later in life.
No.
That. Oh.
Birth,
Oh.
birth complications, my auditory nerves during birth snapped. So I only have like 60% of my hearing.
So you had no business fucking hearing that in the first place.
Exactly.
Well, here's a little scary thought. If you were able to hear that, they would have had to been right
Pumpkin, shut your fucking
next
mouth.
to you. They would have had to been right there to get right up
Boy.
on that ear.
I do not need to. I don't need goosebumps. That happened like 30 fucking years ago. I don't need goosebumps. So, anyway. As I was saying.
People are gonna love it.
So, yeah. Now, this went on for a year. And of course, my parents, being parents, oh, no, it's just your imagination.
Mhm.
Everything's fine. You're okay.
Yeah.
And
Or you're making it up.
Yeah. Well, now, so guess when I started becoming an insomniac?
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
I think not.
I think not. Said it at the same time.
So they eventually my sister finally went, all right, Sky, what's going on? Because I'm freaked out every single night. I don't want to go to bed because the second that I start to settle down and I turn off that light, my name starts getting called. So so I finally I got my sister to listen to me, and she's like, okay, because she didn't believe me either. And she goes, if there's a ghost in here, you are scaring my brother. Please leave his room. You can come stay with me in my room. Guess who got a great fucking night's sleep for the first time in over a year? This guy.
You did.
Guess who didn't?
Oh,
My
God.
sister. She woke me up 7 o'clock in the morning on a fucking Saturday. Which she didn't wake up before 7 o'clock in the morning on a weekday. And she's like, okay. I go, what do you mean? She's like, how'd you sleep? I said, I slept great, thank you. And she goes, yeah, I didn't. I'm like, what do you mean?
Of course not.
She's like, so about half an hour after I turned off my light and tried going to sleep, I started hearing it call my name. And I was like, ha ha ha! Ha!
Vindicated.
I feel no sympathy. And she said, she's like, what do you want? And she said, and all of a sudden I just heard, like it was just trying to talk to her. I do not think this thing was malevolent at all. I think it was very benign. It was just something trapped. It was looking for a way to talk, and it just started.
Do you know? Can I ask you something real quick? So you said you don't think it's malevolent. Do you think, like, was there some kind of history behind the house itself, or do you think it was somehow, you know, an entity maybe you knew in life? You know what I mean?
Not sure.
Not sure.
Not sure. The house that we were at had no connection to the family. The town had no connection to the family.
Did anyone die in that house, or was there anything that you know of that happened?
Not a
there?
clue.
Gotcha.
How
okay.
old is that house?
Yes.
Yes, it's an old house. Okay. So there could have been any number of things that you didn't know about then.
Absolutely.
That's
And,
fair.
So that night, I went into my sister's room at the end of the night, and we were sitting down and we were talking, and it's dark because it's Saturday. We're
Mhm.
not going to bed. We're hanging out and we're talking because she's talking to me about all this stuff again because let's talk about that to your 9-year-old brother before he goes to sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
So we we start talking about it, and all of a sudden, now we're talking. This is 1990, 1991.
Dude, I was fucking what, 6 years? Yeah, 6 years old.
So everything's analog,
Don't
guys.
even ask.
Analog. There's nothing digital at this moment.
Nope, not a damn thing.
The
Mm-mm.
radio turned on, and the channel changed. The fucking knob spun and started cycling through radio stations.
Oh, how nice.
Oh
So
hell no!
that and that's not the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, but that is the one thing that was like finally made me go, I'm not fucking crazy. Like
Yeah.
this shit is happening, and it's in hindsight, it's kind of like it's my favorite moment that I've ever had to deal with anything paranormal because it was so benign, it was so friendly. I mean, eventually we started calling it Casper because there were in that house there were multiple things. The stuff in the attic, no.
Whatever makes you feel better, Sky.
Uh, Pumpkin, I'm telling you right now, the shit in the attic, no, no, that was not friendly. You would walk up into that attic, and things would feel wrong.
And it even came into your room.
Yeah, shut. So, but the one that was on the second floor with us was nice, and we further realized that because the same cousins that had lived with us for a little while, they had stayed with us for a weekend once just to hang out because we were pretty close as cousins. And my my younger cousin woke up and she slept walk and she couldn't remember how to get back to my sister's room, and someone led her to my sister's room. Only everybody was asleep. The only people that were there were me, my her brother, who were in my room, my sister, who was in her room, my father was at work overnight, and my mother was sleeping. And she said that a man brought her to my sister's room. She thought it was my father, but he was working. So, yeah. Awesome house. 10 out of 10 would definitely buy it. I just wouldn't use the attic. Wouldn't use the attic. But those are
Well,
those are the things that got me into the horror everything.
Sky, if you ever somehow get that house back, we need to do some serious investigation. Like, I'm talking, bring a fucking recorder, bring some cameras, like,
We'll do it
let's
before I
run the
move in.
whole gambit.
That house, I don't know. I know why. That house goes on sale like every 6 to 7 years.
Not
I don't
surprising.
think that's a coincidence. So
Probably not.
if I can buy a house next time it goes on sale, oh, I'm going for it.
Just don't live there.
Oh
Have
hell
your
yes.
place you're renting and like, no, no, no.
Yeah, you can easily set it up to, oh, if you want to stay in a haunted
I was gonna
house
say
for a night.
a haunted B&B,
Oh my god.
a haunted Airbnb.
All right, so we talked about like what defining moments or what was most memorable for us when it came to the experiences we've had. So let's switch this around. Let's have some fun, media wise. All right, game, movie, book. What is your defining horror media that has stood out to you?
Okay. Um, if I had to say, it was probably I want to say there had to have been an earlier horror movie, but there was one horror movie my father took me to before I moved out here when I was like 8 years old or something. It was Jeepers Creepers, very first one,
All
and
right.
let's just say, yeah, that was in my nightmares for a while. But
Okay.
it was
Is
my introduction to horror movies, and now it's like everybody, my mother, my grandfather, they got me into Freddy Krueger, Halloween,
Ooh,
and stuff like
nice.
that at a later time, and it's like I've just been in love with horror movies ever since. I'm always looking for a new one, although I'm sorry, I'm still waiting for another good one to come out. I'm sorry, a lot of these ones coming out these days are a little pitiful. I'm sorry.
Well, spoiler alert for some future videos. I think we all agree on that.
yeah. Every now every now and again you get some good ones.
But mostly it's been shit.
Yeah.
Literal dog crap.
None that really make
But
you.
yeah,
I don't know. There's none that make you really
Right?
like some of them are,
yeah,
you get the
no.
jump scare. You're like, oh, okay.
I like you didn't go full on bird, but you went like light bird.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's like yeah, we knew that was coming.
But yeah, Pumpkin, I think we would. I think again, spoiler for future videos, but I think we would all agree with you on that here.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah, I mean, there was like a Nintendo 64 game that was kind of scary. I
Which
don't
one?
remember what it was. I don't remember what it was called exactly. I'll have to go and
Luigi's
find
Mansion.
it. No, that was GameCube, dude. I'm talking Nintendo 64.
Yeah, it was GameCube. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm trying to remember what horror games were on the fucking Nintendo
Yeah.
64 now. Fuck.
Well, that'll be something to discuss on the next
Absolutely.
video,
Absolutely.
and I
Yeah.
will find out what that game was because I have it in the trunk of my car.
I'm
Nice.
gonna when we cut off, I think I know what it might be. If I still remember by the time we're done, I'm gonna see if that's what it is.
um, I think my first horror media thing was Child's Play.
So you said your first, is that also the one that kind of
Nah.
stands out to you?
It, so the one that got me into horror, it's kind of a toss up. Now, the first one I watched was It.
Ooh, that's actually a good one. Okay, I like
Oh boy.
it.
That was fucking terrifying.
Okay,
Absolutely
that is
terrifying.
fair.
But I watched a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Ooh, such good ones. God, the
And
OGs.
it was either 2 or 3. So it was still in the dark Freddy
Mhm.
Krueger, not the comedic part yet.
Yeah, it's still OG. It's still OG.
Right,
Not as dark as the first one, though.
right. But with better graphics and better acting. So
Yeah.
that one gave me nightmares for about 3 years.
Oh yeah, I bet. I bet because I'm just imagining you specifically say Freddy Krueger, and you're having nightmares about a guy that can kill you in your fucking nightmares.
Exactly. So
That is
Yeah. I mean,
beautiful
come on.
irony. Chef's kiss right there.
yeah, it was absolutely terrifying. And I okay. I also started watching this in the house that was fucking haunted. So
Perfect.
I'm hearing my name at night. There's footsteps in the fucking attic. I fall asleep and there's Freddy fucking Krueger.
Oh shit.
Come
And
here,
there's people
boy.
coming in your room at night,
And
Oh my god, that's great.
it was
creaking your door open,
why
coming
do
in.
why do I want to move back there? Fuck is
That's a
wrong with
good
me?
question.
I am a masochist. Anyway,
Get that on recording. He's a masochist.
so the the movie it scared me. It was such a creepy movie, and I was scared of clowns for a good few years.
Mhm. Little
Like,
did you know, in 2020.
Yeah.
I I was absolutely terrified of clowns for a good while, and I don't know why that went away. I think around the point like my sister and one of our other cousins, I have a big family. We they they made me stay up and watch a bunch of horror movies with them, and to try almost like what's it called, like immersion therapy. Like
Mhm.
if I watch enough of them, eventually my brain's gonna go, okay, it's fine. It's not
Yeah.
real. And they specifically chose movies that I had seen actors in other movies. So that
Mhm.
way I saw the correlation between fiction and real life.
To be fair, that's
Yeah.
actually not a bad strategy, though.
Not at all.
Not really.
Not at all. Because, she was like, do you remember this guy? I'm like, he looks familiar. He was in this movie. Oh, okay. And that movie was made after this one. And then
He
she
was in
like,
ex Disney movie.
and she'd like show me the years on the VHS boxes. Like, see, this
Mhm.
one was made in 1987. This one was made in 1989. Like, he lived. He's not real. So, it did. It worked. But, yeah. Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't remember if it was 2 or 3, but that's the one that sold me on horror movies because we watched that one again that night in that immersion therapy, and then we watched um, Dream Child, which was 4,
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
where it started finding its comedic B rank horror kind of thing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
and that's when I finally went, you know what, this is fun as shit because it's all the fear without having to be scared.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'm personally attached to Dream Warriors myself.
Hmm. OG for me. Nothing will beat the original Freddy Krueger in my book. Not even the
Mm,
remake. Just OG Freddy Krueger. That's the shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's
yeah.
like if I had to choose an absolute movie series that sold me on horror, it's Halloween. Michael Myers is my favorite.
Classic. Classic. Yeah.
I
A
mean, it
little
was
bit
either
later.
that or Scream.
A little bit later down the road than Freddy Krueger, if I remember correctly. But still, I
Yeah.
mean, it's Michael fucking Myers.
I think it was a little bit later,
I think it might have been.
but
Yeah.
it's like another one that sold me on it that came out, I mean, around the time I was born was Scream
Mm-hmm.
with
Yep.
Ghostface.
Yep.
That's why he's
Scream.
super iconic to me.
Yeah.
Well, you fucking aged me, you bastard.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this, but as much as I would like to say that those OGs had an effect on me, the one that stands out in my mind, I'm gonna give you two. I'm gonna give you a video game, and I'm gonna give you a movie.
Okay. And these are the
The
ones that
movie,
hooked you on horror media.
these are the ones that really defined my taste in horror.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the first one, as much as I do love those older movies, The Grudge, and I really wish I could have watched Ju-on, which is the
The
what
Korean
is that? Isn't
version.
that the original like Japanese version of the film?
Korean,
I've
if I
never
remember
seen that one,
correctly.
or Korean, yeah, yeah.
Dude,
But The
10 times
Grudge,
worse. 10 times worse.
mhm. The graphics are still good, like there's still that nitty gritty. The fact that they hide the Grudge for so long before you see it,
Yeah.
and just the way it slips up on you, there's literally, you can't do shit once you got the Grudge curse. Screwed. That
Mm.
really got me, and that was, what wasn't Grudge in the 90s, I believe, because it had what's
Either
her name
late,
from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
yeah. Um, Sarah Michelle
Late
Gellar?
90s? Yeah.
It's either going to
Sarah
be
Mich-
late 90s or like 2000, 2001.
Maybe early 2000s. I feel like it was late 90s though. But that one like terrified me more than any other film.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even tell you why it was more terrifying. Like maybe because it was more real than say a maniac doll wielding a knife or something that kills you in your dreams. Because you're talking about like a spirit, you know?
Right.
Hold on one second. Hold on. The Grudge release date. The original, no fucking way. 2004, October 22nd.
All right. I thought it might have been.
Okay.
I thought it would have been
I
like 2001, 2002. But
I remember seeing that movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I've only seen it one time because the first time that I seen it, it scarred me. And I mean, it was literally 2004 when it came out, was when I
Yeah.
moved out here.
yeah.
And I was only 8 years old, and this was when all that shit was happening in my house.
It's kind of sad to think
Okay.
that that was when I was 19 years old, 2004. And that's the one of the ones that really stand out to me. I guess that shows the state of horror over the last 2 decades.
Yeah. I
I
was
get, I,
22.
I guess
Um,
horror just stuck with me at a very young age.
well, one that did. Okay, I'll give you a horror movie. I won't give you a game. The game will come later. The movie that actually gave me, and it didn't scare me as much as The Grudge, but it did give me a phobia that I still have to this day.
Okay.
But it's more sci-fi horror.
Okay.
I see where this is going.
Alien.
No. What is my biggest fear? Are eight-legged arachnids.
Oh God.
Starship
So,
fucking Troopers.
Starship
I watched that way
Troopers?
younger than I should have. I know
are you
it's more.
serious?
I know it's more of a comedy, but
Oh
to
my
me, I became afraid of like I watched fucking what was that movie with John Goodman?
Arachnophobia.
Yeah, I watched that movie when I was fucking a kid, and that didn't scare me as much as Starship Troopers did.
No.
Starship Troopers made me terrified of spiders, and I have never gotten over that fear.
Then
Arachnophobia
you
got
won't
me.
like my. You want to know what was my favorite spider movie?
Oh God!
My
what?
favorite Spider movie was Spider-Man, but go on.
Eight-legged
He gets it.
freaks.
I've never seen it.
That is good.
I might have
I
to go look that up now.
love Eight-legged freaks. It's my favorite
Yeah.
movie with spiders in it
Yeah.
ever.
I don't like the sound of it. I'm just gonna say I'll
It-
watch it, but
It's not scary. It's a spoof of a scary movie.
well, technically speaking, so was Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
It was more comedy, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Just the gruesome way. And I watched this way too young. I should. But the fucking gore and the fucking spiders killing people and shit stuck with me. Giant spiders that were the size of fucking no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that kind of makes me excited to see your reaction to that new map that's coming out in Devoured, which we will be discussing next time.
Definitely, we have to talk about that because it's available on beta right now.
Yep. Okay, we just got done talking about what got us into horror media. What stood out the most to us.
Right.
So now we're gonna go into what our biggest fears are.
Okay, I'm out. No, I'm just
Public speaking. Bye.
bye.
That's
It's funny
fair.
you say public speaking because that actually used to be one of my biggest ones until I became a trainer for literally fucking 20 to 25 new hires in any given time period
Yeah.
and joined the military and had to fucking so that knocked that out the water.
Immersion therapy. Immersion therapy. It works.
Exactly. Exactly. I have okay, let's take it into two parts.
Okay.
Real life, like confirmable, because I do believe in paranormal. and as do all three
Okay.
of us. But like confirmable, like what is actually here that we can prove versus what do we believe in, if that makes sense. I'll
As
give you an
far as
example.
your fear goes.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first one, of course, spiders. I fucking hate those eight-legged little bastards, and they scare the crap out of me. All right. It doesn't matter if it's a tiny little itty bitty spider the size of a speck on my wall or a fucking tarantula crawling across the floor. I am terrified of it. And again, that goes back to Starship Troopers. Fuck you, movie, but I love you. um, but the other one would have to be, if we're talking paranormal, demons.
All right.
Demons,
That's fair.
yeah.
Very
And
fair.
we'll save this. We'll save the whole like deep dive for a later, video at some point.
Right.
But let's just say I got involved in some shit, and I learned pretty quickly that you don't fuck with the darker side of the paranormal lightly. I kind of got involved in some shit. I've had some experiences with what I think are demonic.
So was that an
And
intentional pun?
what? No, probably not.
You said don't take lightly to the darker side, or oh, you
That was
said
not
Oh, God.
intentional.
don't take the darker side lightly. I'm like, or turn the light on. That's okay. Fine.
I'm the only one of us with the fucking light on. Nah, but yeah, as far as paranormal goes, demonic shit, anything on that side scares the crap out of me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I think we can all agree that spiders creep everybody out to a certain extent.
Yeah, except for these crazy people that own them as fucking pets.
Yeah.
Especially the one fact that I don't know if anybody knows, but
Oh no.
literally every one of us has eaten a spider while we're sleeping
I
at
have
some
heard
point in
that,
time.
I
and I
have
believe
heard
it.
that. They've also said that the 8 spiders a year is a myth.
Well, you know what I heard is they actually count like chocolate bars because a lot of where chocolate's harvested has spiders, and the spider body parts end up in chocolate. Think about that
Oh,
next time you eat a fucking
yummy!
Hershey bar.
That's kind of like fig bars.
Oh, just yummy.
I fucking love Fig Newtons. It's like bodies of wasps in there.
Oh no! I can't look at it. I did not know that about figs.
Yep.
You bastard!
So in order to pollinate the fig, like bees or wasps or whatever actually die inside of the fig, and the fig completely decomposes them and becomes part of the fig.
Well,
It's
that is the
good.
last time I eat a fig Newton.
I guess it's a good thing I stopped eating fig Newtons when I was a kid.
I still eat hot dogs
You-
and bologna too. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit about hot dogs and bologna, but that fig is a little too much to swallow. Pun intended.
That's what she
Exactly.
said.
Oh.
Oh, God.
So I went first.
All right, my biggest fear. What, you're not gonna get that right, are you?
Never.
He's never gonna get that
This will
pointing
be a
right.
running gag every single fucking video.
You know you can change that in the settings.
No, I did not know this.
I'll
But
sh-
you know what?
I'll show you.
We're
later.
not going to. No, we're never going to change it.
It's a good blooper.
It's a thing now. It's a thing now.
That guy.
This. Why can't I point you? Anyway, go on.
So if we're gonna go, all right. So you split yours up into 2 points, but I'm gonna flip mine up a little bit.
Oh.
I wouldn't say that I'm a chicken shit, but I have a couple more fears.
I mean, judging by your stream, I'm just like.
Listen, I am not that easily scared in real life. I put those
Oh
fucking
no.
I put those headphones on. I can't hear a goddamn thing, and all of a sudden, bah, and I'm done. I'm done. But anyway, uh, as a kid, spiders used to be my biggest fear.
Okay.
Somehow I managed to get over it. Um,
I envy you, but go on.
I got I visited my mother in Texas, and we saw 3 black widows in one day. And and I'm like, well, you know what? I don't have those in New York. I can deal with the New York spiders. Fuck them
Fair.
bitches. And
Very fair.
they so the spiders around here stopped scaring me so much. Um, my other biggest fear is heights, which
Okay.
and it's I I fell out of a tree.
That'll do it.
And that made me scared of heights. I was climbing a tree at my grandparents' house. It was a pine tree, fucking tall ass thing, and I was pretty close up there. I was to a point where I was starting to go, whoa, this is a little scary, guys. This is I'm like almost level with the roof of this 3-story house.
Oh my god.
Like at I'm like right in between the where the third floor started and the roof ended, you know? Fucking branch broke.
Oh shit.
Oh god.
My ass plinkoed down that fucking pine tree. I just boom, 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 boom. Hit it.
I mean, at least you
Every
had something
time.
breaking your fall.
Dude, and that I'm telling you that saved my life.
Oh my god.
Telling you that saved my life. I fucking plinkoed out of that tree. And you know, I my shirt's gone. I'm just fucking shirt's gone. Shirt's fucking gone. And I'm on the ground just fucking I'm scraped all to hell. Scared of heights ever since.
Fair enough.
And I've noticed as the fatter I've gotten, the more terrified of heights I am because I fall faster.
So hold up then. You are not the one to take if I ever want to go skydiving.
I will do it when I'm like 70 and I don't expect to live anymore anyway.
Oh my god.
I
I'm laughing so much it's not registering.
Pumpkin's
Yes.
laughing so hard his fucking microphone ain't even registering the laugh. That's beautiful.
That is fantastic. I want to skydive just because I can't do it. I can't.
Okay.
I can't because I'm fucking terrified. I will literally shit myself. Not like, oh man, that's scary. I'd shit my no. I will literally exorcist out my ass the way down. Yeah.
Dude, I gotta tell you, there's this bridge in Alaska. I don't remember where it's at because I only visited there when I was like 12 with my dad. But you would have looked down and probably crapped your pants
I'm
because
sure.
it is so high up.
Dude,
I would
Oh,
love to take you to
God.
that bridge.
I am so
Oh my god.
I am so scared of heights that when I drive across a bridge, I am white knuckled and I don't fucking blink. I'm just
See, I'm just gonna say, I think
You-
this highlights perfectly the difference between being afraid of something and having a phobia of something. Because, like, yeah, I get a little nervous if I drive over a bridge, but I'm not like super fucking paranoid. Like, oh shit, this, you know what I mean?
yeah. I can't.
So
I
that's
can't
a
look to the
beautiful
side.
differential.
Yeah, I can't look to the side. I can't. I have to stare at the car in front of me, and I can't blink. I'm so afraid I'm gonna blink, and something's gonna happen, and Done. Done.
That's just such a because like
Oh my god.
you hear people like, oh, well, the phobia is just a fear. No, it's really not. It's almost debilitating, and
Yeah.
you have to come up with ways to function when you are encountered with your
Hmm.
phobia. So that's a really that kind of highlights the difference because like I don't have a phobia of heights. I have a fear of heights if I get to a certain point,
Right.
but that's only natural, right? Any human
Oh
like
yeah.
5,000 feet in the air is going to look down and be like, "Oh fuck," you know. But like you having to focus on something in front of you so that you don't look away. You have to almost tunnel vision. It sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the difference. Like I think that's a really cool thing to point out because you don't see that difference side by side too much.
Right. Especially if you're
Yeah,
someone who doesn't have a phobia like that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, it's like I've had a nerve-wracking moment where I was putting up lights on a second story house and I was on this ladder that was shaking every time that I was banging in a nail. So, yeah, it was very nerve-wracking, but as soon as you mentioned your fear of heights and bridges, I don't know if you've ever seen the videos, but there's a bridge, I think on the side of a mountain I think it's China. The
I have
one
Hmm.
I have
the one that
anxiety
has
watching those.
absolutely it has clear the freaking it's literally a clear bridge. The floor is clear and I've seen people go on there and blindfold people on there and then take the blindfold off and they completely freak out. But you want to know what has scared many people who have never been scared on there? As
What?
they have, I think it's like a see-through screen,
Oh yeah, the
but
crack.
it it acts like it's cracking right underneath you, and people just drop to the floor.
Oh my god.
And literally holding
Nah.
on to other strangers' legs for dear life.
You don't have to have a phobia for that shit to fucking put the fear of God into you.
I like my phobia about heights is so strong. I have a hard time watching those. Like
Mm-hmm.
and it's weird because like if it's on the computer or on my phone or something, I back up. I'm like I can't be immersed in it or like I'll start,
Like
you
those
know.
parkour videos where they're
Yeah.
like hanging on by their fucking hand.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't. And like so I have a VR machine and they have videos on YouTube of like um hot air
Yeah, there's a
balloon.
climbing one.
Yeah,
There's a
there's a mountain
climbing one
climbing
on
one
there.
my buddy has on his. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
haven't
on
seen
the
that one.
Oculus.
They have videos on YouTube that are set up for VR, and one of them is
Hmm.
like a hot air balloon that brings you up to that point of the stratosphere where you can like just barely see space. And I did it. I cheated. I had to fast forward.
You cheated.
I couldn't make the ascent. I like I tried. I really tried. I got into it and like it's going up and everything, and I was like, I'm in my computer chair and I've gripped onto the fucking chair handles, the arms, and I'm just like, okay, I can do this. It's fucking VR. My feet are on the ground, and um, I was still getting kind of scared, so I had to take off the headphones so I could hear the sounds of the house to like ground me, so that way I knew like not that oh wow, I'm in a hot air balloon. I'm not an idiot, but I was too immersed in it. I had to be able to hear what was going on in the house, so that way I could keep my bearings and actually watch it. But eventually, it got so high and I was looking down and I could barely see anything. I'm like, I can't do this, but I want to see what it looks like. So I fast forwarded to the end, and I could see the where the sky meets space. It was awesome. And then I turned it off. I didn't wait to go descend. Like, nope, I'm good.
I wonder how he would have reacted to that one where you have to go on that board that hangs off the was it the skyscraper? Where you have to go out on the
Ooh.
board and get the
Hmm.
item all the ways at the end of the board and come back.
Nope.
Well, you have heights. I have spiders slash demons. What
Pumpkin.
about El Pumpkino over here?
Uh, I would have to say I really don't like things that fly
Things
around
that what?
that fly around me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like, I mean, obviously I'm fine with flies, but like with moths or bees,
What about bats?
n- uh, well, I mean, I never really experienced any bats, but I had a bird try to attack me recently this year at work, and that had me looking over my shoulder even till this day, looking around. Because usually when I'm walking around the building, it only takes me like 4 minutes. I just pop in my earbuds and listen to music. And yeah, it's like that thing coming right towards you, and it's like only like maybe 2 feet away from you. Kind of freaky.
Yeah, I can see that.
Me too. Me too. To be, yeah.
But yeah, it's like whenever I have a moth in my room, it's like I can't sleep until I kill it. You know, it's
Good,
like
because
I'm
it'll
not gonna
crawl into
sleep
your
until it's
mouth.
dead. You never know.
You
It
never
could.
know.
It could.
It could.
And it's just like bees. I don't know if I'm allergic to bees or not. So it's like I've been keeping my distance all these years from bees. So it's like when they're flying way too damn close to me, I definitely run away from that.
Me too.
Yeah, that's something that it doesn't get me. I'm just like, go away.
Mm.
I can
Yeah, it's
I can understand that though. That's not like an
Well, they can
unnatural
sting
fear.
you though. Like a bee can actually fucking hurt you.
Right.
yeah, which is why it's like when I seen those videos of the giant hornets.
The murder hornets, yes.
Mm,
Yeah, the murder hornets, and then hearing that they arrived in the United States, it's like I had a nightmare one time of getting stung by one that was pretty much as big as my freaking hand. So, yeah, it's
Mm.
like, yeah, no, if I see one of those things coming for me, I'm going indoors at full sprint.
yeah.
I
Not
feel
going
that.
to walk naturally by.
Nope.
Right. So, Star said that your second big fear is paranormal demons.
Yes,
Pumpkin,
very much so.
what's your biggest like? What's the thing about paranormal things that scares you the most? What's your biggest paranormal fear?
Um, hmm, I would have to say, you know that well, I told you guys, but that one time in that one place that I used to work,
Yeah.
and I was getting well, not the one with the elevator.
Oh.
This
Okay,
is a
okay.
different place. This was like in a four-story building. I was working there from like 11 to 7, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, all the lights in the building would go out. But I would still have to get up and go patrol on each floor, and on each floor, it's pitch black.
Nope.
I only had a little tiny flashlight that was pretty much as big as the UV light in Phasmo, and let's just say I was constantly getting feelings like I was being watched. And right on the other side of the counter, there was a one-way mirror. Well, it was more of a two-way mirror, so you can't see on the side that's
Right.
facing me, but yet on the other side you can see right through it. And I was getting a feeling that I was being watched, and that happened on every floor. And when I was sitting at my desk, even when I was sitting at my desk, there was still light in the lobby. It wasn't pitch black in the lobby, there was still a light. But in the lobby area for podiatry and stuff that was behind me, I was getting this sick feeling in my stomach that there was something in that room. And it was god awful. It was just a feeling, the feeling of something being there, something
Right.
watching you, but not exactly knowing where from
Yeah.
is absolutely
Hmm.
terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why, because there was one time my best friend, she was supposed to help one of her friends out because apparently there's a demon in one of the houses over here. And I was like, she asked me if I wanted to come along. I mean, she never did it because she had something happen to her in the beginning of this year, but it's like I told her that I probably wouldn't be able to go into that house only because my feelings and vibes that I get from sinister and evil things
Mm-hmm.
would probably be so strong I'd probably be puking because I was getting a little bit sick that night when I was at that place, which is when I first realized that that these feelings and vibes that I get from things around me is real
Right.
and I need to pay attention to them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
One of these days, I would love it if you could come with me to a place called Whittier, Alaska, because there's an old hotel there, and it has markings up to like 15 feet high somewhere where the snow gets.
Nice.
Wow.
But it's literally all that's left there is like the main skeleton of the building, if that makes sense. No walls or anything.
Right.
But
Hmm.
there's like written on like the concrete was this message that said pray for Robin. And whenever I looked at this building, I always got like the weirdest fucking vibes when we did go there occasionally. I would love it with your ability to sense like evil and dark shit. If you would sense the same thing that I did, like something is horribly wrong with this place.
I would do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it. I don't know how close I'd be able to get to it if there is anything there.
It would just be interesting to see, like, am I really, feeling like there's something just not right with this place?
Or are
Or
you
is it
just a bitch?
simply, I mean, that's one way to put it. I was, I was gonna say,
You picked on
um,
me enough. It's my turn, damn it.
true. I was gonna say maybe, just my imagination knowing that, you know, people have died being snowed in at that
Right.
place. So it's like playing on my imagination, or if there's maybe something more to it. That would be an
Right.
interesting, experiment
That'd be
to
awesome.
do.
Yeah,
But
hopefully there's not a take three. Hopefully there's not a.
God, that was beautiful. But what's your secondary, Sky? You only gave us, your heights.
My height.
So paranormal wise, what about you?
So this is gonna sound sort of contradictory,
Okay.
but um, so trying to think of how to put it quite into words. I know how to, but it sounds really stupid the way I'm gonna say it. But whatever.
I
okay?
mean, to be fair, to like the 60 or 70% of the population that don't believe in the paranormal, we're all going to sound fucking stupid anyway.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, more
So
like having someone whisper to you when you can't even hear whispers.
Skylar.
seriously though, So my biggest fear is when like when it comes to paranormal things is when I'm when I'm asleep, but I can still sort of see and hear what's going on, like kind of like astral projection.
Sleep or sleep paralysis kind of.
Sleep paralysis. That might be it too, but like I can see what's going on. I know what's happening,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not. I can't do anything. So like
Mm.
I always considered it astral projection, but you're right. It might be a sleep paralysis thing. Um, but like I'd be laying there and I would see like a shadowy figure walk close to me, and I would just go away, go away. But like I would be asleep, and then I would wake up, and in that instant that I woke up, I would still see it, and then I would freak out like, and then it would be gone. Honest to God, that is my worst fear. I'm so afraid that one of these days I'm gonna fall into that part of sleep, which is either sleep paralysis or astral projection or whatever it is that you want to call whatever I experience, and have that when I'm either not gonna wake up in time or I'm gonna wake up in time and it's also still too late.
Right.
You know, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
That is fair. And you know what's funny? I think that kind of plays back into your whole Freddy Krueger experience.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
I'm waiting for
That's
you
too
to say
funny.
that it says Sky.
Right?
I,
Skylar.
yeah, no. If I and you know the funny thing is, since I've left that house, I've never heard my name whispered in any other place that I've lived. It was only that house.
I mean, I think that's because I feel like this is a theory, obviously. Like, there's no way to prove this. This may fly in the face of other paranormal stories, but I feel like attachments to a specific person from a completely random spirit is probably pretty rare. It's probably more like a house or an object would be my guess.
Right.
We did not hear you say that.
I
Check
said,
your audio.
right.
There we go. Okay, I hear you now.
Weird.
You went into a pitch of tone that no human ear can hear. Right there. Perfect
It
example.
just did it again.
It did. I wish we could say we're making it up, but when you go back to review this footage
My-
for editing,
My tone isn't changing.
that is
Oh god.
Discord. Wait,
Oh
is it
god.
Discord or is it something else?
It's
They did it again!
it's doing it again. Uh-oh.
What the fuck, though?
Take 3. Next Friday, episode 1 again.
No,
We're
that's
not doing
actually
episode 3.
creepy, though. What the fuck?
Now I'm gonna have to watch myself.
Now we can hear you. No, I promise you, we fucked with you here and there, but that totally legit. We could not hear you.
That's what I love to see.
You
It
just
just
said
did it again.
we saw you mouth awesome, but no sound came through.
I almost don't want to talk. So
maybe
what,
maybe this is a sign that
maybe this is when we should wrap it up.
you're right.
I think
Just did it again.
Again,
It's still doing it.
we,
It's still doing it.
we don't hear you at all. What the hell?
I don't know what's going on.
Whoa! I am
Okay.
okay. Discord. We're gonna play Discord, and we're gonna say it's nothing other than Discord right now, right?
Oh my god.
In the proximity, maybe of you to your microphone. That's the logical explanation of this.
Before,
It's
before
gotta
we
be.
wrap it up, I do have to say that one story you shared last Friday, Sky, was pretty scary too. I think it was with your sleepwalking cousin that wound up getting guided back to her room by
Mm-hmm.
someone.
That was today.
Yeah, he mentioned that today too.
Yep,
Yep. He revisited that, which is cool.
I did.
Um, yeah, that is creepy. I've slept walked once in my entire life,
I still
and I
do
thought the
it.
house was on fire when I did.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
39 years
God.
old. I still sleepwalk.
I don't. So the one time I did, I was super shocked, but I remember vividly like waking up my parents and grandparents like, "Hey, the house is on fire." So weird. Of course, I fell asleep in the living room by the fireplace, so that's probably why.
uh,
Oh god.
yeah, probably.
That'll
Probably.
probably do it.
Yeah. Especially in these older homes that are like fucking built in the 60s and 70s, like they're not exactly, you know, up to code probably.
No, they can probably light like a match, and we couldn't hear you just now.
I
Okay.
know. Again, you know. Oh
You
god.
and your audio issues, man. Come on. One job. You got one job.
He's actually haunted. That's what I believe. Right now, there's a ghost in there somewhere.
That would kind of like. That would be awesome. But mostly awesome.
Something that would be awesome cuts out, but mostly awesome. I actually,
I
I'm
said
gonna
that
say it's
would be.
probably.
I said that would be awesome. Mostly terrifying, but awesome.
I think it
Oh my
might
God.
actually be because when you moved away from your mic, that's when it happened. It might actually be the microphone thing.
Why I don't know why it's having problem now after this whole time. Fucking Discord.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Now I gotta start fucking with you guys and doing like the old Japanese Godzilla movies. Be like, quick! We need to go! Evacuate Tokyo now!
Oh my god.
But I think this kind of tells our channel where we come from with our views on horror,
Absolutely.
and I think it's gonna kind of be one of those things that's like, oh, okay, that's why Pumpkin, or that's why Star White, or that's why Sky enjoys XYZ game. And there's gonna be times, I'm sure, when we don't agree with each other too.
Oh,
I
sure.
actually look forward to those times. That's gonna be fun.
That is fun. Yeah, it's gonna be. Oh, so that's why Sky likes torturing himself and getting scared shitless in the middle of.
Oh, it just cut.
I thought I saw it. Like I thought I saw the corner of my eye that the.
Look, he just
Quite
did it.
sure.
He just did it.
Oh, Squeak
Just
fucking
did it.
half the sentence!
And you're not that far away from your mic. and it still did it.
So much for that theory.
It's still doing it.
Say
So
something.
I think
Hey, Sky, try
I-
leaving the Discord and coming back in.
Yeah, but that's gonna
yeah,
fuck
that's
up the
gonna
whole
screw
thing.
up the whole thing.
Oh well, okay. Well,
So maybe let's just wrap it up,
all right.
and then we'll test it out.
Oh god.
Like,
Pumpkin, something's going on.
Something very, very
Pumpkin,
strange
can
is
you,
going on.
so I can turn on the light.
All we heard was so I can turn on the light.
Oh my god. That's literally all we heard. So I could turn on the light.
Wrap it up.
Okay,
You know what?
I forget who's starting with our whole outro.
I
I
think
got the
maybe
last.
I
It might take a couple tries. Let's hope not.
All right,
Yeah, maybe we can get this done in one shot.
we
Unless
probably
Sid
can.
stops
Nice.
talking all of a sudden.
All right, Pumpkin, you lead us out, man.
Alrighty. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
The Haunted 3 on this creepy adventure.
We'll see you next time.